Are you gonna charge for that set of nails? Today's situation is that your client is a hairdresser, and good news, she wants white nails. How are you gonna deal with that? One of the big things is that hairdressers are constantly getting their nails stained. How do you prevent the stains? What are you gonna use? And also, not only that, she's gonna want some dimension to her nails. And upon looking at the set, you notice it's gonna require some featured products, something special you're gonna have to pull out that you haven't used in the past. How do you go about charging for that? I just don't know. These are not things that I can answer because I'm not the professional in the sitch. But we have hope, and that's because we're gonna ask our very own Tracey Reierson. Tracey Reierson.
I'm gonna change my name.
All right. Obviously, we've got a hairdresser here. And she wants white, which I think is funny. But is that typical?
She apparently hates me. I think all the nail techs out there understand when someone says white, you're just like, oh, come on. And it's usually at the end of the day and you're toast, which it is today.
Yes.
But, you know, we have some product that's going to make it a lot easier. It's not as bad as it used to be. I still like to complain.
And what about the dimension that she wants? There's some product you're going to have to use you haven't used before, which I don't know how much you're going to charge for this, but can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so there's a dimensional nail that has a lot of like iridescence clear going on, but there's this really pretty blue going through it. And I think we're going to have to go a little more than just blue mylar to accomplish it. So we're going to pull out some liquid art.
Nice. And we'll find out what we're going to charge for that. You ready to go?
Absolutely.
Ah, very good. Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the product we're going to be using. We're going to be, of course, using our monomer. We're going to be using Speed Clear Acrylic. And then for our artwork, we're going to be using this iridescent mix that I always have mixed and pretty much has every single iridescent color we have, like crushed pearl, star sand, it has diamond dust, it has crystal and Funk-a-delic in it. And I always had this sitting on my shelf because there's so many different things you can use it for. Then we're going to be using blueberry mylar. I think I'm going to use a little bit of the raspberry, and we're going to put in some Moody confetti. Then of course we're going to be using our blue liquid art. And for the white nails, the torturous white nails, we're going to be using our One Step. Heaven help me, go time. And then finally, what's gonna save the day and make sure my client is happy, the stain resistant top coat that's gonna keep those whites white, which is amazing. Let's get started with the demo. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is get the liquid art mix going. So let's grab our monomer, our regular monomer. We're gonna go ahead and pour that in the dish. Then we'll go ahead and grab our liquid art. Okay, and then we're gonna get our dropper. Go ahead and squeeze some out, and it just depends how dark you want to go. If you want real light, we're barely going to touch it, but I want to go fairly dark. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 will do what exactly the color I want. You always want to mix with monomer, and that way it'll dry and cure properly. Okay, now we have that done, we're going to go ahead and set it aside. We're going to get her nails prepped. First thing we're gonna do is grab our magic wand, go ahead and push that cuticle back. And then let's grab my favorite bit, that medium crosscut bit. Really just tucks right in there. The same as using a medium grit file or a medium grit sanding man. Gonna turn our file on low. Okay, again, I'm pulling back that skin so everything's nice and exposed. I'm gonna tuck in here. follow around. Make sure that cuticle area is nice and clean. Follow through, remove the shine. She has a little bit of acrylic on, and that's perfectly fine. Let's grab our swipe. Make sure that nail is nice and clean. We're just gonna brush down, pull all that dust out. Next, we're gonna use our protein bond. Get that on the surface of the whole nail. Next nail, gonna do all 10 nails. And of course, as you know, if you've ever watched, I like to do it twice. That way I know I'm not gonna have any lifting problems whatsoever. Making sure we don't flood the cuticle. If you flood the cuticle, if you start getting really comfortable with protein bond, we tend to over flood the cuticle, and that can actually cause lifting. So we just make sure that it's nice and coated on the natural nail, but not flooding. Let's grab our forms. Get that on her nail. I think this is like the 4th or 5th set Steph's had this week. And you can really see though that her natural nail, is nice and healthy. I mean, there's no damage done to it. We remove it properly, we put it on properly, you're not gonna have any problems. Okay, so we're gonna grab our liquid art. We're going to grab our speed clear. We're going to grab our regular monomer. We are going to grab everything. We're gonna grab our custom mix. Now this is mixed with acrylic. So it's about 70% speed clear acrylic to 30% glitter. And then we're gonna pull out our confettis. Just gonna kind of sprinkle them out on the table towel. Grab our Mylar, gonna do the same thing. And I just kind of run them in between my fingers, and that just separates the pieces. Grab the raspberry. I'm still up in the air about the raspberry, so I'm gonna make sure I kind of put it to the side. Okay, I think we have all the goodies out. I'm gonna grab a separate brush. Now, when I was in salon, would be my blue liquid art brush, and I would actually take a Sharpie and Sharpie it blue at the end, so I knew that brush was only to be used with blue liquid art. Did that for all my art brushes. That way it wasn't frustrating when I would go to put things on, and I realized I just did a pink and white with a blue liquid art brush. Okay, let's see, we're gonna grab, let's grab the liquid art first. That down here. I'm just gonna kind of, I don't want it all the way through, just attach it. Just gonna have it kind of swirl through. Get my regular brush out, the one that doesn't have liquid art in it. I'm gonna go ahead and put a thin clear down here. What this is gonna do, it's gonna protect that natural nail. So when I put glitter or liquid art on it, when I go to remove it, I only have to go down to that clear. I don't have to go all the way down to the natural nail. Once we have that, I'm gonna put a little more clear down around everything I have going on, and we're gonna start picking up some Mylar, placing it in, and we're gonna grab liquid art brush again, grab some of that glitter. We're gonna run that up here, and I am literally just making this up on the fly, so we're just running that through. A little bit more, and that's what I like about having the iridescent glitter, is I can use it with the red liquid art, I can use it plain, I can use it with yellow, whatever custom mix I've made, and it just goes beautiful with everything. Let's go ahead and pick up some of the confettis. I think I do want to use a little bit of that raspberry. Now if it's starting to set up on you, I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a little more clear, but I'm actually gonna grab the clear glitter mix with regular monomer and start filling in around. Around everything. Pick up some set it down more. And just kind of, as we go, pick up some more of the raspberry, and you're just really starting to get that reflection going on. Yeah, I like that. And more there, and maybe just a little more of the blue through there. And one more confetti for good measure. And that's just when the light hits it, you're really gonna see that reflection. Okay, once we got that, we're gonna go ahead and remove the liquid art so I don't spill it. And we're gonna get our strength by capping and clear. Grab ourselves a nice amount of speed clear. And let's get that capped. Walk it around the back. Tuck it in the sides. Walk it through. She's going with more of a coffin shape, but I usually tend to make my coffins kind of a ominetto, and then I just shave it down. Okay, we're gonna make sure we're looking at it from the side view. Make sure we have enough in the arch. We have enough strength going on. It looks good. So, we're gonna go ahead and let that dry, and I'll come back after I filed and shaped it, and then we'll paint out our white. Okay, so we filed, finished those. We're gonna go ahead and grab our protein bond, get a coat on these nails so we know that they're nice and sticky, ready for top coat. Well, actually ready for white and then ready for top coat, but we're not gonna have any chipping issues. The surface textured, and we've protein bonded. Go time, heaven help me. And that's a true statement when painting white. Heaven help me. So we're gonna get that down. I find like painting white is kind of like doing chrome. You kind of want to make sure that the surface is pretty darn even. You still need to leave it textured, but we're gonna make sure it's really refined before we go ahead and paint white on top. Okay, we're gonna go in the light for 1 minute. Okay, let's grab the white again, and we're gonna do our second coat. Time for 60 seconds. Okay, we have finished out our white. Now this is go time. The white's done, but really we have no choice. We have to put stain resistant top coat on because we don't want her to stain at all. In fact, even though she is a hairdresser, so she definitely needs it, any customer, if I'm doing white nails, I'm gonna put stain resistant on top so I don't risk their jeans or whatever else they get into staining. Get her in the light for 1 minute. Okay, we have the stain resistant on. We're gonna grab our swipe. Now because this is a true gel, it does have a sticky layer. But that's what gives us that non-porous surface, so none of her hair color is gonna stain.
Okay, our hairdresser's set of nails has been completed. We've got stain resistant on there. Plus, Tracey used a new product, Liquid Art. I'm dying to know, Trace, how much?
I know it's coming every time, and yet I'm disturbed every time. Yeah.
You still back up.
120.
120 Buckaroostonians. Please walk us through the pricing.
You sound like that cat. What was that cat?
Hanna-Barbera.
Yes. Okay, so we have our full set, which is 90. We have Liquid Art. I charge $10 for Liquid Art, so that gets us to 100. We have $5 per Mylar, confetti, and glitter. We had 4 of those all together, so that gets us to 120. I'm not charging her for the white because my full set always comes with gel polish. However, I feel like I should charge her $300 the minute they say white. And I don't charge any extra for stain resistant top coat. I'm gonna put a top coat, matte, regular. There's gonna be a top coat, so it's just part of the price.
Tracey, this is a gorgeous set of nails. That's how you do it if you want the stain resistant, and if you want that dimension, you can use that Liquid Art. I really hope you enjoyed this set of nails. We'll see you next week on How Much.